Hello, students. We'll continue with the chapter Nationalism in India. Next topic is what were the causes for the peasant movement in the countryside? Or what was Swaraj for the peasant people in the villages? Or how they responded to the movement called by Gandhiji, that is non cooperation movement. In Awadh, a peasant movement was organized by Baba Ramchandra. Baba Ramchandra was a sannyasi and he was an indentured laborer. And here the movement was against the landlords and the talukdars. And landlords and the talukdars demanded from the peasants high rents and a variety of taxes. So when the non-cooperation movement has started, they supported to abolish all these taxes. And the main demand were a reduction of rent and the abolition of beggar were their main demands. What is meant by beggar? Bigger is a labor that villagers were forced to contribute without any payment. That means free labor. So the peasants were forced to do work in the landlord's farms without any payment. And as tenants, they had no security of tenure and being regularly evicted so that they could acquire no right over the leased land. The peasant movement demanded reduction of revenue, abolition of beggar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. In many places, Nai Dobi Bands were organized by panchayats to deprive landlords of the services or even barbers and washermen. And this was a time in 1920, Jawaharlal Nehru and Baba Ramchandra began going around the villages in Awadh and talking to the villagers and trying to understand their grievances. Within a month, over 300 branches had been set up in the villages around the region. Next movement is the tribal movement in Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. Here, the tribal peasants started a movement under the leadership of Alluri Sitaram Raju. And what was Swaraj for the tribal peasants of Gudam Hills? The tribal wanted to get back their traditional rights over the forest. As you know, the colonial rulers divided the forest resource into different parts like village forest, protected forest, and restricted forest. And these peasants were not allowed to enter and use the forest produce as they used earlier. So when the non-cooperation movement was announced, the tribal peasants supported Gandhiji and Swaraj for them was the freedom to enter in the forest and the use of forest products as they wish. But the methods followed by the tribals and the peasants were against the Gandhian method of non-violence. They followed violent method of struggle. Actually, they followed a militant guerrilla movement that is spread in early 1920s. So this was the time the government began forcing them to contribute bigger for road building and the hill people revolted. Alluri Sitaram Raju was a hero of Gudam Hills and he led a movement of tribal people in the Gudam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. And many people believed that he has many special powers, miraculous powers, and many people consider him as an incarnation of God. Alluri Sitaram Raju claimed that he had a variety of special powers. For example, he could make correct astrological prediction, heal the people, and he could survive even bullet shots. And he supported Gandhiji and asked his followers to wear khadi and stop drinking. But there was one difference of Alluri Sitaram Raju and Gandhiji was Gandhiji followed non-violence, but Alluri Sitaram Raju said that only through violence we can achieve Swaraj. And he organized an armed struggle against the British. The Gudam rebels attacked police stations and attempted to kill the British officials and carried on guerrilla warfare for achieving Swaraj. Later, Alluri Sitaram Raju was captured and he was executed in 1924 and over time he became a folk hero. And next is movement in the plantations. At that time in the plantation area, many people worked in Assam, and these people went from the northern states like Bihar, UP, and Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, or they went to and they went to work in the plantation area. They went as an contract basis. For them, Swaraj means the freedom to move in and out of the plantation area. So then they opposed the Inland Immigration Act of 1859, which took away the right to free movement.